Peace, blessing, salutations. Yarima Karama here, real life, real talk. These are the days of our lives. So, you know how we do. We up at the election season. You had the RNC, the Republican National Convention, which was held in Cleveland, Ohio. Then just yesterday, you had or this past week, Monday through Thursday, I guess, you had the Democratic National Convention, which was held in Philadelphia. And I did an interview earlier where I was talking with the guy on uh, the voting, and basically, it's been my position, still is my position as to why voting is really not important, and why I'm not particularly going to vote. And when I say that, sometimes people get the measure that I'm trying to tell people not to vote. I'm not saying that. My thing is that I think that if you're going to vote, you need to research the candidates that you're voting for, and you need to look at your vote like money. You don't just go into a store and buy something just because because you're not obligated to spend your money. You're just not. And so if you go in there and just buy something that you really don't want, but you're just buying it because you're in this particular store, it's kind of like, that kind of like makes no sense. Who does that? So it's kind of the same thing with the vote. Like, I hear people telling me all the time, like, well, I'm going to vote, I'm going to take the lesser of two evils. Well, I'm not one who negotiates with evil, me personally, but I might stand to be corrected. So what I wanted to do in this segment, I wanted to get from a younger brother, who I know he talks with a lot of a lot of younger people himself within his particular age range, and I wanted to get his input on how young people are, if they're inspired, uninspired to vote. What's the measure there? So we got the brother Meyer Lansky again. So Meyer, introduce yourself. Tell the audience, what your position is on the vote, what you're hearing, what feedback you're getting.
I got you, Uriel. First of all, before we start off, I want to say one thing too. Meyer Lansky is a nickname because I save money like a Jewish person. They call me the Black Jew, so it's not. I don't look up to Meyer Lansky or Italian Mafia and all that. It's a nickname that was given to me. All right. Now that being said, the election, man, it's just a lot of nonsense going on. I actually called after I spoke to you earlier. I called a couple of my young boys, asked them, and I got the straight answer across the board. They really don't care about the election. They don't feel affected by it. They say that, whoever's in power, it really doesn't matter for them. People are still getting shot. There's still no job. They're still getting stereotyped and stuff like that. So, they're not really tuned in like that. Some people are tuned in, but the people I see tuned in aren't really researching. Hillary, let's look at her history with Bill Clinton, 3 strikes laws. She's her big role model, Margaret Sanger or whatever, the Planned Parenthood, who wanted to get rid of black babies. That's what she was trying to do. We got to do our research when we're looking into these things. A lot of people in my age bracket, life is so fast with them now, all this technology, all this stuff, they really don't feel affected by politics. I spoke to a 24-year-old, I spoke to a 27-year-old, I spoke to a 26-year-old. They all giving me the vibe like, listen, whoever's in office, it's whatever, man. What's it going to do to affect me? Not saying these are lazy people, because these people have jobs, who go to school, you know what I'm saying, or they're not sitting at home all day and just BSing. But they don't find it, and they don't find any relevancy with this election. And I was saying this to them too as well. Like, when you have a president like Obama, which is great, great for the cause, for the people. But ever since Trayvon Martin, he never spoke up about police shootings. He's never, stood up and said, "Listen, I'm the commander in chief here. This has to stop." Like he plays the puppet role. You got to be careful now with all these race soldiers out here. Getting into law enforcement, being lawyers, getting into things, trying to, stump you. So like I said, people right now in my age bracket, it's like you said, less of two evils. But I agree with you. Why should we choose less of two evils? I don't vote. I didn't vote for Obama. I never voted in a major election for president. I don't believe myself that it's personally going to help me or affect me, whatever happens. But like I said, I see Hillary, she's going to black communities dancing, doing the dabbing. People are going crazy. Oh, what is that going to do for us? What is Hillary Clinton listening to hip-hop music going to do for us? Let's talk about reparations. Let's talk about, police shameful. Let's talk about things like that. You know what I'm saying? So with her and with Trump, it's just Trump is showing you, and this is what my young people said, the true colors of America, of how America really feels when they're sitting at the dinner table late at night, with their kids and family, and all the stuff they saw at work or throughout the day or whatever they saw on TV and the news, Trump is showing the true colors of America. That's what Trump is doing. What people are scared to say, he's coming out and saying, and they're just jumping on the bandwagon. That's what I'm saying right now, Yarima.
Okay, but let's clarify: is Trump showing the colors of America, or is Trump showing the true colors of white America? Let's clarify. Okay,
white America.
Okay, we need that clarification.
Yes.
And also, I find it, and so I've gotten this response back as well that Obama, because you lend credence to a point that I was thinking the same thing, and then I had to clarify myself. And some of the feedback that I got was that it's not upon Obama to speak out about these issues. And I started thinking about it, and I said, you know what? To a certain extent, they're right. Obama doesn't have to speak out about these issues. However, the two black attorney generals should have been speaking out against those issues. Eric Holder should have been speaking out because that's his job. Eric Holder, your attorney, was Attorney General of the U.S. And now the new sister, I can't even remember her name. Probably I can't remember it because she hasn't spoken out. So, the attorney generals should be speaking out about these assassinations of young black men, women, and children, which leads to my next question. What is the feel pertaining to what's going on in the street, how police are using Gestapo type tactics in black and Latino communities, and how is that playing a role with the political landscape that's going on?
Streets, well, obviously you see both candidates every once in a while they talk about, they're going to change the police system or police brutality. Take a look at that. But honestly, that's just, to me and the generation, they're telling you what you want to hear. They're using what's in front of you at the moment, like with the police shootings and, all this stuff, all this craziness going on. And, they have to speak on it because they're getting questioned about it, and their reps or whoever's writing their speeches are putting these things in for them. So, the correlation is that these things are really happening in the streets. And the youth and people really do know you have to move a certain way, which, like you said last time, we shouldn't have to have a code for ourselves to move with police, people to protect you and stuff like that. But young people on the streets are just knowing what to do, man. You got to move a certain way. When you go somewhere, they're looking at you. You're stereotyping you. They're using it in the politics. They're using it to say, oh, okay, we're going to make this better for you. So come out and give us the vote. Give us the vote. They don't care about the police. Stuff like you said. If Obama right now isn't going to talk about it, why are the two candidates who are trying to get in the seat when they get there really going to do it if Obama didn't do it or if any previous president didn't do it? So I just, I think what's going on in the streets is just they're using that to their advantage to see who they could get on the bandwagon, to see who they could get. Okay, well, I heard them say they're going to do police brutality. I'm going to go with that one. So that's what I feel on it. And that's what, people around me feel like too. We're not really... People like my age right now, like I said, I'm in New York, we're not sitting down talking about we talk about the convention, did you hear what he said? Did you see, of course, Coon, Ben Carson up there, Coon, and, stuff like that. We hit those major points and stuff like that, but it's like, we're not having round table discussions like, oh my God, Trump and Hillary, because at the end of the day, man, it's a war outside, you know what I'm saying? It's a jungle, so that's what it is.
I've heard that, Hillary has kind of alluded to it. Trump hasn't really said too much other than he's going to basically Trump in a nutshell has sided with the police. He basically said that his position is he's going to make sure that the police are spoken up for, something to that effect. I can't quote his exact words, but let me ask you this, because when people say that Hillary shouldn't be held to the same standard because black people didn't hold Barack Obama to the same standard. Basically, it has been stated that black people said that Barack all Barack had to do was be black, and that they basically didn't request or demand anything of him. So now the feedback is being said that as justified, and I believe that this is used as justifying their position to vote for Hillary. People are saying, well, you can't hold Hillary to the same standard if you didn't hold Barack to that same standard. What's your position on that?
I guess you have to agree with them. Honestly, at that point, I just think people really, like you said, why should Obama do certain things? Like, so if you say that they feel that she has an advantage or she shouldn't do it because Obama didn't, then I guess, they have a point. Why should she do it if Obama didn't do it? Like I said before, man, I feel with that whole Hillary thing, I feel it's a whole bunch of nonsense. She's just pulling the wool over people's eyes, man. Black people too gullible, like I said, man. Do your research on this woman, man. Look what she did. Look at the laws her husband put in, 3-strike laws. Look what they did in foreign countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things I'm saying. Black people in general, I just think are just too gullible when it comes to elections, and especially this election, and show how gullible and how easy it is to manipulate black people in this election. With her, if she doesn't have to do, if she doesn't have to keep up with the procedure or whatever Obama did, why, like I said, people are going to say, why should she? Obama didn't, the previous president didn't, Bush didn't, or whatever, Clinton before didn't, so why should she? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I have to say about that.
Okay. Well, with that, we're gonna see. I personally think that it was the landscape has already been set. You know, my position isn't changed. It doesn't matter who's going to be there. The banks are going to run it. They're the puppet.
Yep.
They're the ones that pull the strings of the puppet. So, but I also think that it's probably going to go in her favor because I mean the U.S. does have to eventually be the one country that has finally had a woman president. So, and not that I'm against that. I'm not. I'm totally not against that. I personally probably think Cynthia McKinney's a better choice, but that's just my take on it. Any last words you want to say before we end this segment, man?
I want to say, man, just, people got to be aware of what's going on out there. Look at the candidates. We all know Trump is nonsense, but, always followers, always bandwagoners. We got black folks. I hate watching the Republican convention. I'm seeing black folks sitting in there. I'm like, what the hell is he doing in there? Like, get this guy out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a joke, but, you know what I'm saying? Just stay strong, my brothers and sisters. Keep grinding and keep following your dreams, man. Keep aware to the streets and what's going on in the media and the news, but focus on self and do what you got to do, man. Like I said, continue to boycott, like Yarima said, and you know what I'm saying. Just keep on supporting each other, man. Keep on building the black brand, black blessings. That's all I got to say.
That's what's up, brother. And I would just further say that power concedes nothing without a demand. If we're not, we know that probably the majority of black people in this country are probably the ones who are going to vote for Hillary. Power concedes nothing without the demand. There should be a demand. She should be bringing something to the table to get your vote. That's all I would say on that. If she's not bringing any guarantees, I'm not voting. But I'm not spending a dime, man, in none of their institutions, none of their white financial institutions or retail outlets. If it's not black owned, the only way I'm spending money with them is if it's a need. I'm not spending anything on wants. My wants can hold because we got too many deaths out here in the streets right now. Too many brothers and sisters, men, women, and children being killed, blatantly assassinated by police departments across this country. So that's my form of protest. I'm not spending the money. I'm not giving any more money to the corporations that already got rich off of our forefathers and our ancestors, their blood, sweat, and tears. So that's how I'm going to protest, and I'm not lending my vote. My vote is like money. I'm not giving it up unless the product that you're selling me is worth buying. And I've been in Hillary's store and I've been in Trump's store. They have no products that I want, so I'm not spending my money. So with that said, my name is Yarima Karama. This is Real Life, Real Talk. These are the days of our lives. Hit me up, www.yarimakarama.com. Go there for booking info, messaging, or to find out my performance dates and locations. And this is the brother Meyer Lansky. We're going to be back with more segments because we need to hear from our young generation what their thoughts are, what they're doing, and some of the things that they want to see be implemented and done. So with that said, peace, blessings, salutations. I'm out one.
All right, everyone. Peace.